Okay, now we're going to talk about the conjunct form. Now, the conjunct form is the form that we use whenever you're asking more complicated questions. When you're asking who is leaving, why are they leaving, where is someone going? When you're asking who, what, when, where type questions, questions where you're going to get a little more response. Now, the simple questions that we briefly talked about a minute ago, those are just for the independent form. You just use that ne with it. Now, with these more complicated ones, you use this when need ya, who, wek need ya, what, need ya p, when, nipija, where, need ya we, why, need ya ye, which is what that should say, nijetso, how much, how many, and nija is how, and it can also be what sometimes. The other place that you use the conjunct form is whenever you have a second verb in a sentence. So for example, if you were to say something like, nui manakwe mina Kietnam gashkana bagwayan. So I'm going to drink, I'm really thirsty. So that second verb will go into the conjunct most of the time. Doesn't always happen that way, but most of the time. Also, you see a lot of conjunct in longer dialogue, sometimes like prayers, which is kind of like a running onward thought. If somebody's giving a speech, a lot of times it'll kind of flip into the conjunct a lot of times, or sometimes in songs as well. So, but the nice thing about it is, again, there's only 7 forms in this VAI type of verb, this animate and transitive basic verb. So, maji yan, this is the present tense. I am leaving. The yan is the I. Now, on these, all the information is back here on the back end of the verb, at least for who the person is. Maji yan, I'm leaving. Maji yin, you are leaving. The you is the yin. Majit, he or she is leaving. The T is the he or she. And when I say he or she, it depends the context of the question. If you say like that woman, then it's obviously she. If you say that man, it's obviously that man. If you're talking about a certain man or a certain woman, it's obviously him or her. So it just depends on the context. Maji yak, we but not you are leaving. Maji go, we all are leaving. Maji yuk, and some people also say maji yak. A little variation. So maji yuk or maji yak for you all are leaving. Maji wat, they are leaving. Now this is the present tense. Again, just like the independent form, in the conjunct, you just want to really memorize this form. If you need to, get yourself some little note cards, write them out, and quiz yourself on, but really understand, yan, yin, ti, yak, yago, yuk, or yak, and wat. Really get those down so that you can effectively use them, but also so that when you hear them used in a sentence, you don't have to worry too much. You immediately hear the ending, then you can kind of focus in on the verb. Okay, what was being said? So you don't worry about who's doing the action. Now here in the past tense, we either add ga or we'll add egi. It's optional. You can go either way, but you can just say ga majiyan, I left. Ga majiyin, you left. Ga majit, he or she left. Ga maji yak, we but not you left. Ga majiago, we all left. Ga maji yuk or ga maji yak, you all left. Ga maji wat, they left. You also have the option, and some speakers you might see prefer going this direction. They'll put an E on the front, and so it becomes, what that does is it stops this kind of initial change. We're not going to get into that, but egi majiyan, egi majiyin, egi majit, egi majiyak, egi majiago, egi majiyuk or majiyak, egi majiwat. So those are the 2 ways of doing it. And that's the past tense with the conjunct form. Over here we've got the future of the conjunct. So here it's ewi or wa. So wa majiyan, I will leave. Wa majiyin, you will leave. Wa majit, he or she will leave. Wa majiyak, we but not you will leave. Wa majiago, we all will leave. Wa majiyuk or wa majiyak, you all will leave. Wa maji wat, they will leave. And again, you have an option. You can do the wa or you can do ewi. Ewi majiyan, I will leave. Ewi majiyin, you will leave. Ewi majit, he or she will leave. Ewi majiyak, we but not you will leave. Ewi majiago, we all will leave. Ewi majiyuk or majiyak, you all will leave. Ewi maji wat, they will leave. and that's the future. Now these words over here that we kind of already went through one time, these are our questioning words. So whenever you use these words right here, you're going to have to put the verb in the conjunct. Wenija, who, wenija, weknija, what, weknija, nija when, nipija, where. Now I know these are kind of close and these ones can kind of get confusing for people. So you may want to separate them out if you got maybe a chart where you're working on them alone. So nija versus nipija. And there is one variation that I forgot to write up here. Some people also will say nijopi for when. So maybe that's a way that might be easier for you if they look too much alike. You could do nijopi versus nijapi, and that might help you out for when. Nipija, where? Nipija, where? Like nipija wechpiayan, where do you come from? Nipija wajiayan, where are you going to go? Nijawi, why? Nijawi, why? Nijaye, this should say which. Nijaye, which. Nijetso, how much or how many. Nijetso, how much or how many. So like, Nijetso de Buganak, what time is it? How much does it measure out to? Nijetso dopunen etoyen, how many tables do you have? Nijetso. There's a little variation on this that I didn't put up here. Some people will say nijetso, but it's really close. Nijetso, nijetso. Nija, how or what. Now this one people will use also occasionally in place of weknija, they'll use nija. But like we say, nija na, how are you? But nija ejbamadzian, how are you living? You know, so nija. Okay, let me see here. Oh, we've got an example sentence down here. So here we've got nija when, wa, the future, maji, the verb to leave, yin. So when are you going to leave? Nijapi wa majiyin. Nijapi wa majiyin. If you wanted to throw a wabuk on there, wabuk means tomorrow, you could say, when are you going to leave tomorrow? Nijapi wa majiyin wabuk. When are you going to leave tomorrow? Nijapi wa majiyin wabuk. Now, just knowing this ending, you can change this. If you want to ask, when are they going to leave, you just take your yin off. And we go over here and we're like, well, what was the they? That's the what. We stick the what on here. And now we've got when are they going to leave? Nijapi wa majiwat. Nijapi wa majiwat. Nijapi wa majiwat. Okay. If you want to change it again, if you want to ask when is she going to leave, you can just take the what off. Okay. What was the he or she? That's the T. Put your T on here. This alone will work, but if you want to be real specific and you want to make sure you know it's that woman you're talking about, you can put an O, que. So, nijapi wa majit o que. Nijapi wa majit o que. When is that woman going to leave? Now, if you want to take this same question and you want to say, when did she leave? Well, what was the past? It's either ga or egi. So you just can slap a ga in here and go, nijapi ga majit okwe. Nijapi ga majit okwe. So when did the woman leave? If you want to say, when are you all, or when did you all leave? Okay. Okay, so what was you all? That's the yuck or yak. Nijapi ga majiyuk. Nijapi ga majiyuk. Again, some people say yak versus yuck. So nijapi ga majiyak or yuck. Nijapi ga majiyuk. So when did you all leave? So again, if you can get this pattern down, this yan being the I, the yin being you, the T being the he or she, the yak being the us but not you, the yago being all of us, the yuck or yak being you all, and the wat being they, you're really on your way to speaking quite a bit of Potawatomi. How?